Hi everyone and welcome to this video on solving cubic equations. The work that we do here today is going to be a very slight extension on your understanding that you've already developed from the quadratic equations, because we're actually just using the exact same process for solving. So basically any polynomial can be solved by factorizing and then applying the null factor law. When we did quadratic equations, there was also the option to use the quadratic formula. Now just so you're aware, there is a cubic formula, one does exist, but we don't really use it because that's what it looks like. Okay, it's an absolute nightmare. So you might notice that's actually a plus sign there, so we have to do all of this plus all of this and then minus this here. We don't expect you to know or to use that, so let's just forget about that. So let's have a look at a couple of quick questions. Okay, these should be really quick. So we start with, we have x cubed plus 6x squared plus 3x minus 10 equals 0. Looking at that, I can't group 2 and 2, so I'm going to have to guess my first factor. So to guess the first factor, well, actually something I noticed that's really nice here is that these, well, the coefficients of these three terms add up to 10, and then we have a minus 10 here. So that tells me that if I guess x equals 1, that's probably going to be a good guess. So we'll try p of 1. That's 1 cubed plus 6 times 1 squared plus 3 times 1 minus 10, which does indeed equal 0. So because 1 worked, that means that x minus 1 is a factor. So then we can use long division to divide that off. And that means we're going to get an x squared here, which gives us x cubed minus x squared. Take that away, leaves us with 7x squared plus 3x minus 10. So I need to have a plus 7x there, which gives us 7x squared minus 7x. Take that away, leaves us with 10x minus 10. And then they'll give me a plus 10 up here, which leaves us 10x minus 10. Which gets taken away, leaving a result of 0. Sorry about that. So that means that the polynomial from above can be written as x minus 1 multiplied by x squared plus 7x plus 10 equaling 0. And now I just need to factorize that quadratic part of it, which I can use the add to give, multiply to give rule. So two numbers that add to give 7 and multiply to give 10, which are going to be 2 and 5. And now that's completely factorized, so I can apply the null factor law to get x equals positive 1, x equals negative 2, and x equals negative 5. Now, because the equation was equal to 0, what that's actually telling us is the x-intercepts of the graph. And in coming videos, we're going to see how to actually graph these. If we have a look at the next question, 3x cubed minus 3x squared minus 126x equals 0, the key thing to remember here is the very first rule of factorizing, which is take out a common factor. In this case, 3x is the common factor, and so that's going to leave us with x squared minus x minus 42. Now if I factorize that quadratic part, so two numbers that add to give negative 1 and multiply to give negative 42 should be negative 7 and positive 6. So therefore, x equals 0 from this part right here, x equals positive 7, or x equals negative 6. The last one I've put it in a factorized form because I just want to highlight how this works, but basically using the null factor law here is going to result in x equaling negative 5 on 2, x equaling positive 8 on 3, or x equaling positive 1 on 5. So when they're already factorized like that, it's super easy for you. The last thing for me to mention really is that this can be done using your calculator, so I'll bring that up here. If we have a look at the first question, so I can just type in the rule, x cubed plus 6x squared plus 3x minus 10 equals 0. And then all I do is highlight the whole thing, go interactive equation solve for the variable x, so go OK. And there we have it, x equals -5, x equals -2, and x equals +1, as we found down here. So that's it really. Nice short video for you today. See you all next time.